Hey everyone, Rock DIY here. Let me just start by saying that I am in no way claiming that I'm an expert on this product. I am just providing an overview based on my experience. And hopefully in sharing my experience, it'll allow some people to get a good idea of what they possibly want to purchase or make a decision about what they want to purchase. But I'm definitely not claiming to be an expert, just sharing information to help others. Today I'm going to do a product overview, and what I've got here is a Eufy wire-free security camera with 4K Ultra HD and solar power. It also has Bionic Mind AI. Take note, it says free, no monthly fee. What you see on the panel is basically what you get as far as the hardware. Inside the box, you have your base station, two cameras, two mounts, the mounting hardware for the mounts. You get these positioning stickers. They basically have holes here so you know where to put this when you put it wherever you decide to put them. And then what you get is a decal, and you get this little fold out. You get a quick start guide, a USB-A, USB-C cable, power cable for the home base, and then your Ethernet cable. Almost forgot. You also have this little baggie. It's got 4 screws in it and a reset pin. I'll discuss that more in a minute. Just to go over the base station real quick. This is a status light right here on the front. You've got USB 1 and 2, your Ethernet cable that'll go from here to your router, and then you also have your power plug right here. Up top you have your sync button, which is important when you first set it up, and then you also push it to turn the alarm off, which is one of the features. If a camera gets moved or somebody tries to take them, the alarm will go off on the base station and the camera. The other thing is here, you got a speaker on the bottom of the base station, and then here is where the reset hole is. There is this right here. On the very top, this little gray portion has a rocker. It's magnetized, and what you do is push on the back end, lift up, and remove it. And this is basically where it vents, and then you have a screw right here for a hard drive that can be put in. So quick note on this is that this does not come with a hard drive. It does have 16 gigabytes of memory on it, but if you want to expand, and it's unlimited as far as how big of a hard drive you want to put in it, but that's up to you. So in order to put the hard drive in, you will need to remove this screw, and then right here it says pull. You pull this tray out. So there's your tray. And in this case, I bought a WD Blue 1 terabyte hard drive. So in the tray, just like this, I'll take the hard drive, slide it all the way in, drop it in, make sure it's locked in place. And then that's where this baggie with 4 screws comes in handy. They don't give you a hard drive, but they give you the screws to put the hard drive in. There, so the 4 screws are in and flush. And now take the hard drive just like this, place it inside, make sure it locks in place. Take this screw, put it back. And that's it. Hard drive's in it. You don't need to do anything to the hard drive prior to putting it in. You will get some messages, alerts from Eufy that will tell you that the hard drive needs to be formatted. You can reformat it yourself, but it will format it on its own after you set everything up. So that is the base station. So this is where your Ethernet cable is going to go, and this end will go to your router. This is where your power cable will go. You can take your USB-A and USB-C cable. You can plug the USB-A into this top port, and then take the USB-C and plug it into the back of your camera to charge your camera. I'll explain more of that in a minute. I almost forgot to mention, and it is good to know, so this home base is an S380. That's important to know when you go to set everything up, that you know that this is the S380. Now, what we have are the 2 cameras, the 2 mounts, the mounting screws for the camera, and we have this cable, and then we also have the positioning cards, and they are stickers that you can stick where you plan on putting the cameras, and then it'll help you set everything up. So the entire top of this camera is a solar panel, and one thing you'll notice right away if you purchase these is the box is really heavy. And the reason why the box is so heavy is I think the majority of this camera is actually battery. I believe it is a 16,000 mega amp hour battery that's in each of the cameras. Here's what's on the camera. The top is a solar panel, and then on the very front you have the spotlight, the camera lens, the photosensitive sensor right here, the LED indicator, microphone 1, microphone 2, and then you have the motion sensor. On the bottom is a speaker. And on the back you have your sync button, your mounting hole, and then here is your USB-C connector. And although the camera has a solar panel for charging the batteries, when you first get ready to use these, you do want to hook the USB-C cable up to it to charge it for 8 hours, and then after that you'll be good just using sunlight. And in order to keep these cameras charged, you need at least 2 hours of sunlight on the solar panel. As far as mounting, this part right here is what goes on the back of the camera, and screw it on, and then this plastic ring, you want to cinch it down just a little bit more. This part will stay loose for now. this is the part that you'll mount wherever you decide to put your camera. And you have these screws and the anchors if you need to use them. It's dependent on the material that you're putting this on. Right here is it's a softer rubber. And what's good about this rubber here is that on the little swivel ball, it really helps lock this in place, because as heavy as this is, you would think, man, it really can't hold that camera up. But once you get it in place, what you'll do is you'll put this on and then lock the collar down, and as you tighten it, you can see it really holds the camera up where you want it. And all you have to do is just loosen the collar a little bit and then make your adjustments wherever you decide you need it, and then lock it back down, and then there you go. The nice thing about the collar is that as you tighten it down, it actually hides the screw holes. As far as positioning the mount, these are stickers, and you put the sticker wherever you decide you want to put it, and it just makes it easier for you to pre-drill your holes, or put the screws in, then take them back out, and then just put the mount in place, and then put the screws in. Something to note when you're setting up your Eufy system is, for example, I have my modem and the router downstairs. They're both right here. So when you set up the Eufy base station has to be plugged into your router to set it up. So if you know you're going to be setting it up, just hang out by your base station, because in order to pair your base station and your cameras, you'll have to be where your base station is, next to the router. Because unfortunately I put the base station down there, and then I had the cameras upstairs, so I had to keep going up and down the stairs to set everything up. So it's just best to have everything, your cameras and your base station, your router, when you're doing your setup. When you use the quick start guide, it tells you to set up your base station connected to your router. And in my case, the router is right there and the modem is over there. So I had the base station connected to the router down there, and as you know, with Wi-Fi and everything else, they always tell you to keep them away from other electronic devices to avoid interference. So I did originally have the base station set up down there, and I was following the instructions, but I have an Orbi Wi-Fi set up. So I have the base station router down here, and then I have a satellite sitting here, and then another satellite set up downstairs, so that it increases the signal of the Wi-Fi throughout the house. And one of the things I thought about, I was like, I really don't want the base station down there, because then that base station could interfere with the router, and then also interfere with our security cameras, or the security camera system that we have already set up for the house, because it's got antennas on it. That Orbi router down there, it has antennas enclosed in it, just like this one does as well. It's just concealed with plastic. One of the things I figured out, I didn't know for sure whether it would work, but on these satellites there are 2 Ethernet connections on them. So this one up here has 2, and then the one downstairs has 2 Ethernet connections. So what I did is I took the Eufy base station from down here and brought it up here, and plugged the Ethernet cable into my Orbi Wi-Fi satellite. And originally I didn't think it would work because the little light right here stayed red, flashing red, but then it went blue, and the signal works great. There's no issues with it. So I'm gonna leave this Eufy base station up here, so I'll have one less thing down there interfering with other devices that have antennas and signals that may interfere with each other. Here I'm going to test the speaker on the camera, and right now I'm about 5 feet away. So this is testing from 5 feet away. Testing, 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 testing. I'm about 10 feet away now. Testing, testing, testing. 15 feet away. Testing, testing, testing. That last recording of testing the camera speaker was about 25 feet away, and it still made that screeching sound, and also clearly hear it like it's missing part of what you're saying. So it's something that may be a con as far as this camera system, because if I do need to speak over the speaker and somebody can't hear me, it's kind of pointless. Or maybe just the screeching and stuff will scare them away, so I don't actually need to talk to them. This here is an add-on camera that you can purchase from Eufy. This is a 2K resolution camera, and it's also pan and tilt. This is the box that it comes in. It's pretty much the same as the rest of the system as far as setting it up. What you get is the camera itself. There is a mounting base on the bottom. I have it connected right now, but this is the mounting base for wherever you're going to put it. You can put it up on a ceiling in the middle of a room, or you can put it in a corner. It has the ability to pan and tilt, and this works with the app that you can install on your phone. You can get the power cable and the charging block. You get your quick start guide, and then you get your replacement sticker and your anchors and screws for installing it. Things to know about this camera is that it's not wireless, so wherever you put it, you gotta make sure you have a power source. And this specific camera, even though Eufy has many different types of cameras, this camera only works with 2.4 gigahertz networks. So just be aware of that if you decide to purchase this one. And then you will go through the setup just like you would go through the setup with any other cameras to pair it with the base station. And just be aware that when you connect this with your base station, because your base station is connected to your network, you will have to put the network name and password in order to pair this with your base station and your network. But something to be aware of with this is if you accidentally put in your password wrong, there's not going to be anything that tells you that you put the password in wrong. It may not connect at all, and it's just going to say connection failed, but it's not going to tell you that the connection failed because you put the wrong password in. So just be aware of that, because you may be thinking that it just won't connect, and come to find out it's just that your password was put in wrong.